Hello, welcome to Retail Focus. I'm John Suder. I'm here with my co-host, Mroz.
Well, hello, my friend.
Bart, before we get started, why don't you tell me what your awesome thing for this week is?
Awesome, not awesome. I mean, awesome in some ways. I moved.
So that's not your back? That's not your window?
No, that's not my window. No, I moved states, and so that's a different world.
So you're in the country now. I got the country living. No. Well, you're not in Jersey, Suder, so I consider that the country.
I mean, like outside of Stamford, it's not really country, sir. It's Connecticut, man. Everybody thinks Connecticut is like, yeah. I'm in Connecticut.
Congratulations on the move. My awesome thing is, well, it's opening day for baseball, so we have about 6 hours of freedom before I let baseball take over my mood and my spare time for the next 6 months. So, been warned.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it is definitely opening. I knew you were gonna say opening day.
Doesn't feel like it though. It's a little chilly. I was out.
Did you see the temperatures for Saturday?
Like 78, 81. Like insane.
Anyway,
insane. All right, let's begin. We're gonna talk about 23andMe. 23andMe, the once shiny Silicon Valley darling that turned your spit into ancestry insights, has officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Let's unpack this genetic mess. That's right, I'm a genetic mess. Remember the olden days when 23andMe was riding high, valued at $6 billion after its 2021 IPO? Well, let's fast forward to now, and it's worth less than $50 million. Basically pocket change in biotech terms. So what went wrong? Turns out selling one-time DNA tests doesn't make for a sustainable business model. Who knew? Who knew people wouldn't keep buying kits to confirm their ancestry every holiday season? Hey, let's not forget the 2023 data breach that exposed sensitive information from nearly 7 million accounts. Hackers didn't just steal names, they grabbed ethnicity profiles and family tree connections. The fallout? A $30 million lawsuit settlement and a massive hit to the customer trust. Nothing says reliable like losing control of millions of people's genetic data. Co-founder and CEO Ann Wojcicki has stepped down but isn't going quietly. She's trying to buy back the company herself after her previous offer was rejected by the board. Meanwhile, interim CEO Joel Solstabid is left holding the bag during this restructuring circus. So what happens next? Well, the bankruptcy filing is all about finding a buyer while keeping operations running. But here's the kicker. Experts warn that genetic data privacy protections are practically non-existent under federal law. So if you're one of their 15 million customers, maybe don't hold your breath waiting for assurances about your DNA staying safe. 23andMe's downfall is a cautionary tale of overhyped tech, poor cybersecurity, and a business model that banked on people wanting to spit into tubes forever. As California officials urge customers to delete their data, one has to wonder, is this the end of consumer DNA testing as we know it? Thoughts? Yeah, that's what I said. Did you have one of these?
I did it. Yeah, I did it. I have a
23, or did you do ancestry?
No, I did 23. I had to go in to delete my data and stuff. But it was funny because I haven't looked at it like in a while, and you get those like distant cousins, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of fun, like third, fourth removed somewhere in the bloodline. And you're like, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's always interesting.
I did ancestry because I was curious. I have a lot of, I'm a mutt. My roots go deep into whatever was Austria back then. And then I have some Irish, I have some Swiss. But on my maternal side, you call it? Yeah, maternal side, everything, they had me narrowed down to literally a city in England where my family is from. Like,
nice.
My father's side, we're like getting scattered all over Europe. So yeah, I know the way that they, because as I stated in the read, what kind of business models? You're only going to do it once. Well, they get you, like you had said, they do a thing. We found your third cousin. Ancestry does that as well. It's like they say, well, for $30 a month, you can look at all the newspapers from 1800s. Very interesting, also very expensive.
Yeah.
I think that, I had I had a dead end on some of my family tree stuff. Like on my father's side, even on my mother's side, we got back to like 1850s and then the trail goes cold. And you can look for some of these documents, but again, is it worth me paying $30 a month to find out? I don't know. I'm not that curious. I just, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun for like, I like when it pops up like, oh, we found somebody else and somebody else did it. That's fine. But like the long term, like, I mean, unless you're like really history buff, you want to be interested in that. That's kind of fun. But how many people are that, right? I was interested in just how it is. I mean, I'm like 97% Polish. No, there was no like, it didn't go anywhere else. It was like, it was just it was very stamped, which was hilarious in itself. But I'm like, definitely not. But yeah, I don't, where does that go? Like, what's the service? Right? There's nothing really fun with that.
So I used to know she wants to buy back the company. What is she going to do with it? I mean, she's got data. So what does she go? What would you do with the data?
I mean, you could do something. I mean, you're going to throw AI at it, obviously.
Pretty that.
The article sounds fun. I mean, you could do something interesting with it, I guess. Yeah, it was interesting. Like, it was fun in the beginning, right? Everybody was doing it. They're like, oh, this is great. And now it's like,
I'm right with you.
I guess if you did it, if you went the bio side of it, right? Like diseases and really go like
genetic
in that direction, genetic markers or stuff like that. Like, where is that actually coming from? What kind of genetic markers? But people look at that all the time. Like when you're going through, having a kid, like you're going through all that anyway.
All right. So my prediction is a healthcare startup will buy it for the data, or an evil billionaire will buy all the genetic data for his colony on Mars.
I mean, he has talked about it.
Why do you think he's having all those kids?
He has talked, right. And he was selective about it. So,
and he wants to colonize Mars with his
okay. All right.
Grow potatoes. We're going to talk about e-commerce for a change. The Amazon Spring Sale. I didn't even realize that this was a thing, but apparently
I didn't realize till yesterday when I was ordering something.
When you start getting the banners. All right, so let's talk about the Amazon Spring Sale. Amazon is at it again with the big spring sale starting this Tuesday, which is the Tuesday that just passed, which would be the 20. Help me out, Bart. What was Tuesday's date?
25th.
And running through March 31st. So it's still on as of this recording. Yes, it's another excuse to lighten your wallet. It's open to everyone, but of course, Prime members get the VIP treatment with extra discounts. Deals. They're promising daily themed deals in over 35 categories with discounts up to 40%. Note the up to, don't get your hopes up too high. This includes the usual suspects: apparel, beauty, outdoor stuff. Perfect for pretending you're going to get in shape this spring. And then Amazon Haul, the Temu, is it Shine or Shine?
Shine.
Temu Shine wannabe. But here's the kicker. They're pushing Amazon Haul hard. Remember that Temu-esque thing they launched? Well, they're offering 50% off all purchases. $20 or less, mostly under 10, and some stuff is even a single dollar, $1 American dollar. One recent survey says Americans haven't even tried Amazon Haul yet, so this sale is probably going to get more people on board. Why should we care? Well, according to analysts, and I think the analyst's name was Professor Obvious, these sales drive traffic and revenue for Amazon. Groundbreaking, I know. It also lets them steal market share from other retailers. Plus, with everyone still pitching pennies thanks to inflation and trade wars, people are looking for deals. So should you shop? If you're into potentially cheap thrills and don't mind wading through a mountain of products, maybe. But remember, buyer beware, that deal may not be as sweet as it seems. How does Amazon's Big Spring Sale stack up against other major sales like Prime Day and Big Deal Days? Here's a breakdown. Amazon Spring Sale is open to all shoppers, unlike Prime events such as Prime Day and Big Deal Days. We're struggling today. While Prime members do get some extra perks, the Spring Sale is more inclusive, catering to non-members as well. It focuses on seasonal items, spring fashion, cleaning products, blah, 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 blah. While the spring sale has grown since its 2024 debut, it still lags behind Prime Day in participation and sales volume, and probably consumer awareness, because I didn't even know. For instance, only 28% of U.S. shoppers engaged with the spring sale in 2024 compared to 36 to 40% for Prime Day. However, the spring sale is gaining traction as a pre-summer shopping event with discounts up to 40% across thousands of products. Blah, 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 blah. So there we have it. They're having a spring sale.
I have a spring sale. I'm trying to figure out.
They're going after Temu and Shine, whatever it is. I guess it's the race to the bottom for bargain. Correct.
But what's their thing called?
Which thing?
Whole beta.
Amazon. And it basically looks like Temu with all the junk.
It's really junk. I mean, it's going to be interesting with the tariff stuff, right? Like, how are these products going to be like $1? They're not going to be $1 anymore, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just funny. Dollar General. How can that stay Dollar General anymore?
Or Five Below.
Below.
They're all going up. That's going to be interesting.
I heard Dollar General, didn't they buy up Dollar Tree? Well, they dissolved the merger because it was a disaster and they're closing a bunch of stores.
They're selling off one of them now.
Yeah, was it Dollar Tree? What's the one?
Family Dollar. There's so many. The best part is, I know we're talking about Amazon, but the best part is, in Bristol Park right there, they had the Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, and Ollie's all in one. And then liquidations thing.
And one shopping the old Walmart. Yeah, great.
You're like, what is happening? People want cheap stuff. That no longer is cheap because we're putting percentage on it. That makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, the spring sale, great. It's just another advertising thing. They're just pushing product, right? You kind of have to kind of come up with stuff. I've seen a lot of people actually cancel their Prime lately because it's no longer like 1 day, it's 2 days. I still have Prime because of some of the perks.
Yeah,
especially the TV stuff. I still do Prime.
I use Amazon videos. Oh,
yeah. It's kind of, it fits it. I think they have discounts for Grubhub if you use it. There's a whole bunch of little things that they add.
There's a lot of things that people don't realize that you get with your Prime.
That people don't use,
Like, people are like, oh, yeah, subscribe to Peacock. I'm like, no, because I am an Instacart subscriber and you get that for free. And
yeah,
I don't know that.
Although it's like a big ginormous chart of things, I think we should make an app for like, I watch these shows. What is the best deal?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're speaking of like that, I think we're even worse off now than we've been when it was just cable. Right? Because like, if you think about it, it's so much complication now. Instead of making it simple.
I have one of those, what's the guy from Always Sunny in Philly? He's still Charlie is doing it. That's me logging out my, when am I going to watch this season? When am I going to cancel? So I got Apple TV to watch Severance, but then I got hooked on a couple others. And then you got to watch Stylo, but Stylo's done. So then, but wait, White Lotus, night.
Apparently Seth Rogen's new show is really good.
Yes.
On Apple TV.
See, I can't win.
So anyway, we totally lost track of what we were just talking about. So let's get back on track.
All right, Amazon spring sale till March 31st. If you're listening in the next day or two, get on it. If not, you have to wait till Prime Day. All right, let's get to our big story of the week. A Cybertruck recall. What is going on with Tesla this week? Tesla Cybertruck recall, how many is? Number 8. Because apparently even the truck's body panels are trying to escape Elon Musk's stainless steel fever dream. What is the deal? Tesla has recalled 46,096 Cybertrucks, which is basically every single one produced since November 2023. Why? The kit rail, which is a perfectly named piece of equipment on a Cybertruck, a decorative stainless steel panel along the windshield, might detach while driving. Yes, your Cybertruck could shed parts like a snake losing its skin, except this snake might cause a highway accident. Turns out that Tesla used a glue that's prone to environmental embrittlement. I had the same condition. It sounds a lot like the rapid unscheduled assembly Elon's rockets suffer from. So the translation to environmental embrittlement, it doesn't hold up in real world conditions. So now Tesla is scrambling to replace the adhesive with something sturdier and throwing clamps in for good measure. Fun fact, this isn't even the first time Cybertruck panels have tried to make a break for it. This marks 8 recalls in just over a year, including issues like stuck accelerator panels and power failure. But this one hits differently because it requires actual service center visit. A quick software fix here. Imagine buying a futuristic truck to find out it's held together by subpar glue. The bigger picture is Tesla stock is down 42% this year, and Cybertruck sales are struggling against competitors from China. So let's look at the competition. Tesla versus BYD. They're the biggest EV seller in China. So in China, Tesla sold 60,480 EVs between January and February 2025, down 13.63 year on year. February 2025 sales were 26,757, a decline for previous months due to the transition to the new Model Y. BYD, on the other hand, sold 623,300 vehicles, EVs and hybrids, in the first 2 months of 2025, up 93% year on year. In 2024, BYD sold 1.76 million EVs globally, closely trailing Tesla's 1.79 million, but dominating in total sales with hybrids included. BYD is outperforming Tesla in China's EV market, leveraging affordability and hybrid models to capture significant market share. Meanwhile, Musk's reputation isn't helping. His ties to controversial policies under Trump have spun. We should put that over. Meanwhile, Musk's reputation is not helping. His ties to controversial policies have sparked protests and vandalism at Tesla dealerships. At this rate, even the trucks seem to be embarrassed with it. At this rate, even the trucks seem to be embarrassed to be associated with them. The Cybertruck was supposed to be a symbol of Tesla's engineering prowess, but with panels flying off and recalls piling up, it's more of a rolling punchline. If you're lucky enough to own one, maybe keep an eye on your trim, or better yet, invest in some duct tape. I saw people were drawing nice little rocket ships on the side of Cybertrucks.
Yes, I have.
The little rocket ships with something coming out the front.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, multiple things. This is the first a Tesla designed by Elon. It's one.
Okay, so the design, let me just jump in on the comment on the design. It was supposed to look like the future, but it looks like the future was designed by a kid in 5th grade who isn't paying attention in class drawing futuristic cars. That's what.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. This is actually literally the first car designed by him. He had every single input on this thing, which is, it's just ugly. It's not functioning. If you look at the windshield, it's so big, but the problem with it is that the front of it, when the windshield is, it's so stretched out far that you can't see. There's so much hindrance of seeing. So any design form and function is just all over the place in this thing.
Yeah,
it's just
the problem with the headlights in that they built so it has the neat little LED rail headlight.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. Except they built the bumper that sticks out a little further than the actual light itself, and it accumulates on that little ramp, and people can't. That's
it, right? It's just everything in this car, like that lumen thing. That's just dumb. I like all this kind of stuff. It's just and then it looks ugly. I'm sorry, it was just dumb.
Well, yes, it is butt ugly, but it doesn't really function as a truck. It
doesn't function.
These guys that drive around the F-150s, and they haven't hauled anything but their girlfriend in this truck. They'd never used the bed, but they've got the big truck.
I mean, there's people that use it. I mean, obviously, people they tried to beat them up. It's just, it doesn't form, function, and the car makes no sense in any shape or form at all. Just makes no sense. And then forget the whole falling apart thing. Like, Tesla had, in the beginnings, they had those issues where, like, the quality they've put together and the machines were not great. They're really good now. What I'm more excited at is the new Tesla Y that just came out. And it is a really nice redesign.
And it's a shame because, as we've said in previous episodes, you are a Tesla owner, and your car, you like your car, and I love the design of Tesla cars, but this thing,
it's just bad.
A departure from their whole look, their whole brand. Well, I'm not going to be the guy that busts on Musk, because you could just turn on the news or turn on the internet and see 24/7.
I mean, the brand is really in the crapper right now.
Really, this is the greatest brand destruction that I have seen in my lifetime.
And mine is leased. So, trying to get something else right now is interesting, and it is what it is. It's definitely brand wise. Yeah, he definitely destroyed the brand. Because if you look at this, just saying the new Model Y is gorgeous. Like, it's changed the function. It looks great. From what I've seen just online, I haven't seen them in real life yet. They have like a heading. Like, if they just concentrated on those cars and not the Cybertrucks, like actually released the Roadster. Roadster is beautiful if they went with it. Like, there's so much to this. The other side of it is the charging, right? The charging's superior to anybody else's. The plug is so much done. Because it's their new American standard. The charging infrastructure is so much better. Like, all those things, like, if you take all the political stuff out, all the brand stuff, like, if you look at what they're doing, like, great. All the companies are putting their stuff in. The charging network is better. There's the one in Cherry Hill, they just built a huge one, charging stations, and that's a faster one. It's just so much better overall. It's not better than BYD, apparently, because BYD is like killing right now.
Yeah. I heard that there's they have the new charging station that can give you a charge in 5 minutes, a 300-mile charge.
Yeah, it's the big one. The problem is the cars can't handle it yet. The car is not going to handle that yet. But there's issues with that. But the fact that they are that step closer to have that, that's great, right? It's the steps, right? It's going to take a while before everybody will have those, but that's getting there, right? Imagine just pulling up 5 minutes, you're charged fully. Like, that changes the whole play, right? Like, if you look at the steps of it, it used to be really slow, and then they got faster and then faster. The one in Cherry Hill is I think it's the fastest they ever have right now for Teslas, and for the other cars. So, technology wise, awesome. I'm a big fan of the car itself because I don't want buttons. I don't want anything in them. Yeah. I like driving a car. I know I'm weird, but I like it. I like the car. I do like driving an iPad. It's literally an iPad. I mean, the other thing is,
your car, I was like driving an iPad.
But there's no maintenance to them. This is the funny part. Literally no maintenance to them. Once in a while, you have to rotate your tires because it's an electric car, so it's heavy. And add windshield wiper fluid. That is it. There's nothing to these cars.
They don't require blinker fluid?
No blinker fluid. Charging, and I don't need to do anything to them. Even braking, it doesn't, your brake pads don't hit as much because regen braking does it. So it recharges your car, so it slows your cars down. So usually it brakes a lot less because it's automatically doing it.
Right.
Your tires are the only thing that you have to switch out or rotate them all the time. But that's the only maintenance you do really on them. Like, there's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, even if you're like a daily driver, like, you charge at home and, eventually if you went on a road, yeah. But other than that, your car is always charged. I don't know. It's great.
I saw a big future with electric cars, but some people still want to hold on to their gas guzzlers and whatever. And then you get people.
I mean, people who complain.
Electricity goes for.
People who have never driven them or understand how it's just a different way of thinking about a car completely. Right. you come home, you plug it in. It's always charged. People are like, well, what about it doesn't go long distance? I'm like, how many trips do you do?
Right. Are you driving to Iowa every day?
Right. I do long distance once in the blue moon. Right. Even if I have to, there's plenty of charging stations all over the place now.
Yeah.
So there's no,
thing is really not even an argument anymore, especially, I'm driving to Florida. Well, you know how many charging stations between here and Florida?
Insane amount. So that's no longer a thing, right? And people are like, well, I don't have to stop and just go. I'm like, are you going to pee in a bucket?
Are you good stop?
What are you playing Gumball 3000 where you don't stop for it between toes? I mean, I just don't get that. And like people are like, I'm like, especially if you have kids, you're gonna stop. You know what I mean? I want to stop. I want to stretch my legs and not be in the car the whole time. Like
I want to go. I want to go to Buc-ee's. I want to go to south of the border.
Yeah, there's plenty of that. Anyway, so yes, it's an ugly truck. I don't get it. I really do not get the truck whatsoever. There's some people that are like in love with it, but I
don't understand the fanboys. I mean, the thing is just butt ugly.
It is butt ugly. I mean, I get if you like just like stand out and be that, fine. But it's bug ugly. I can't do it.
Roadwood.
Any shape or form
this week. All right, we're gonna wrap it up since we're running out of time. That's it for this week. We hope you learned something, but if not, at least you wasted some time. Next week with more questionable advice and unsolicited opinions. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. If you prefer the video experience, you can check out our YouTube channel. And lastly, check us out on the social. We're on Bluesky, Twitter, and Facebook. And sign up for our newsletter where you get extended show recaps and behind-the-scenes info on the show. Links are in the show notes. Closing thought.
Today is the day we switch from Eagles hat to Phillies hat.
That's right. I got my new Phillies hat, but it's in the car because I got a fresh haircut today.
Looking good, sir.
Looking fresh and fly. All right. See you on the internet next week. Until next time, make your internet be fast, your video calls be clear, and your mute button always work when you need it most. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See ya. Yeah. See ya.
What do you do now?